So step one, you gotta remove this panel and this cover too. So I just got a pick. I'm gonna just carefully remove little trim piece. There's 4 clips, 5 clips, and this side, just kind of grab it from this side. This piece is a little like rubber. Just hold that, and it should pop out. You can use a plastic tool, but this is what I'm using. So step 2, you're gonna remove this armrest. Just hold on to the soft leather section and pull up. There should be a few clips. And it should come right out. 3 bolts should be exposed. There's 1, 2, and 3. So we're just gonna take that out. It should be a 10mm. So after you remove those 3 bolts, we're gonna come under here, and we should be able to pull the panel away from the door. So you can use a pry tool right here, and just careful about the clips, but they should pop out like that. Okay, that's a good sign. Now slowly release the rest of the clips and we should be able to pull the door panel off. Will be to remove this bracket and peel back the protective liner. You might need to buy new sealant, but we'll see how it goes and if you can reuse it. Just go slow and it should peel away from the door and just stay onto the liner. Feed this harness through. little bit stuck on this electrical tape, and it should be in one piece. So here's my window switch. Let's reconnect. Key is on, and we want the bolts to show up here and here. So I'm gonna lower it down. Okay, right here. And that's about right. So from here, before we remove the bolts, let's add these GoPro mounts first, because when we take those off, the window's gonna want to drop, and I don't want to use a bunch of tape, but maybe later. Let's put this mount on. And I'll put another one on the other side. Yeah, this should be good. Now let's remove those bolts. I'm going to remove the window switch so it's not in the A. Sure you don't drop these bolts. So what you're going to do is leave the regulator at the bottom, like where it is now, and you're going to lift the window. You're going to lift the window up and hold it high so we can remove the regulator. To holding the window up without tape, so you get two suction cups on each side, one suction cup on each side, and a bungee in the middle. Pretty secure. So let's get on with removing the window regulator so we can replace the motor. Regulator and the motor, we have to remove 7 bolts or 7 screws. So these two and these two are to holding the regulator in. These 3 are holding the motor in. So we're gonna take the regulator off first, and then we'll remove these 3 for the motor. But when you remove them, they're these tabs. So you have to pull the motor up, and it should release from the door. Let's do that now. Now we gotta remove this harness first. Now we should lift the window motor up and slide the regulator out with it. Let's see if I can do this. Should all come out in one assembly. And I have to orientate it a different way for it to come out. On anything. There we go. So that's how it fits inside, like that. So here's the old motor, here's the new motor, and we're just gonna flip this, and all you gotta do is remove these 3 screws and the motor should come right out. We're gonna reassemble the window regulator and feed it back in with the motor. So. This might be the tricky part, but we have to get the motor back on these three taps. There's one right here. If you like, you can remove this. Tab. Here's the other tab. So, and make sure your regulator is able to get aligned at the top and bottom. And now we just put our bolts back in. We got the 4 bolts for the regulator. Tighten everything back up and we can give it a test. Plug the harness back in. And test our motor without the glass. Go key on. See our motor go up and down. So that's a good sign. Now, gotta raise it back up to where we see the bolts, so we can bolt the glass. Turn it down. Now slowly take off your mount. There we go. And just slowly lower the glass till it meets those bolts. So it should rest on the mount where the glass is bolted in. There we go. Put one side in first. Second one. Can test the window. Let me remove my suction mounts. And the window should go all the way up. And it's way faster than my old one. So re-disconnect the window switch because we will add that on later. This has to come in from the outside. Next step would be this shield. Just make sure you feed the harness through the middle slot and around the door handle. Try to line it up as good as you can. If you need to add new sealant, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to do that. Mine's still pretty tacky, but you want it to be nice and even all around. Make sure you get the inside one over here. Make sure it seals. You don't want any leaks or anything. That's in there. Some seal over here. Just make sure it's flat all the way around. I'm going to reinstall this brace. Now to put the door card back, So this is where we will install our window switch first onto the door, onto the trim piece. It's pretty easy. And with one hand or two hands, we're going to reconnect the harness on the back side. There we go. Okay, now you're going to raise it up a little bit so we can get this part inside the seal. Just press down. There we go. Just press down and make sure the clips on the side of the door panel are matching with the holes. And press down all the way around. Good. Now we have 3 screws, 1 bolt. We're gonna reconnect these over here. One over there. 2 over here. Be sure don't go too hard. Just plastic. You don't want to crack it. Our armrest piece. Sure, secure. Now our 2 trim pieces. So inner one goes first. So. And the silver piece on the outside. And that's it. The video, let's give it a test. Key on. It's good. Pretty good. And that's how you change the window motor on a 2006 Nissan Frontier.